Hey everybody, hope this night is going swell for you guys. So, currently waiting for my friend to join us here. I got about four folks that I was anticipating bringing onto the stream for us to interview, really just find out about how they're beginning their journeys and what their goals are. But in the meantime, just wanted to give ourselves a little bit of an intro while we potentially are waiting for some more people to join us, and also the folks that I was planning on having on to join us. So I think what ends up happening to a lot of folks these days is folks are really wanting to get into investing, but I think what ends up happening is there's a mental barrier and a mental block that people put in their minds because of the uncertainty around investing. And I think what ends up happening is they see that there's barriers to enter financially, there's barriers to enter in terms of time commitment, and I think what ends up happening is they're not provided the appropriate education on really setting themselves up, understanding where they want to be in their financial careers. And they hear things from the news, and they hear things from reading stuff online, and I think what ends up happening is they really just get education paralysis about what all this information is. And that, paired with their financial miseducation or their lack of education in finance as a whole, draws them to just be petrified, whether it's investing in real estate, whether it's investing in something as simple as the stock market, whether it's investing in something like cryptocurrencies. I think it's honestly just because there's so much information out there, it's very difficult. And even in the community that we have, the miseducation that some folks have promoting on YouTube or just promoting in general, I think a lot of the folks that are even in this stream do a very good job. But there are some folks on here that I watch and I'm just curious. They're more, and I think what ends up happening a lot of times is they're really just getting started in their career, just as I am, and they're documenting. And because they end up getting a following, they have very good production quality in their videos. They have a decent amount of idea. Just because they've made that first initial step, people are immediately drawn to them. And sometimes that ends up going down an inappropriate path. But regardless, really just wanted to open up with that and really just try to do something a little bit new. The hope is to get a few people, regular folks that aren't necessarily YouTubers like you and myself. A lot of the folks that are in here are, generally speaking, YouTube influencers as well, or YouTube creators as well. So I really want to take time to get some more of the folks that we don't normally hear from, like random people that are just getting started in their careers in investing. I talk to people every day. More and more people in my personal life find out that I'm creating YouTube videos, and they're very intrigued by it. And I end up hitting this barrier all the time. And I know I'm kind of speaking in circles, but I have people who are like, oh, you need to teach me this, you need to teach me that. So I won't push too much, but what ends up happening is I'll send them an article, and when they see me the next time, I don't ask about it, but they'll say, oh, I know you sent me that article, I haven't read it yet. And I'm like, okay, well, no problem. The first time I sent somebody an article, I would say it was probably like 4 or 5 years ago. And I was super excited, right? I think everyone's super excited about getting their investment journey started. They want to talk about it. It's something that they're passionate about. And that's, generally speaking, why a lot of these folks here on the channel continue to be in the live streams, and they continue to obviously create YouTube videos because they're very passionate about it, and you have to be very passionate to continue to create YouTube content. But what ended up happening, and I feel like a lot of people can probably relate to this in the stream, is would ask that person the next day, did you read it? I want to talk about it. I sent you the article because it really helped me. I really want to talk about it with you. And eventually they got to the point where they're like, I'm not going to read it. Like I was just being nice. And so now, learning that lesson, I'm very cautious about who I really jump the gun and try to talk to people about. investing with. I'll acknowledge that I personally believe myself as an investor first, and a businessman and engineer second and third. And if they're interested in talking about investing, I'll let them kind of come to me after I say, hey, yeah, I have a channel. Yeah, I talk about it. Um, and if they want to continue about it and they're really interested, I'll let them come to me. But a lot of times what ends up happening is they'll mention in passing, oh, you really need to help me. And I'm like, I'm available to talk anytime. Whether it's at work, whether it's personal time, more than happy to uh, uh, educate or provide any experience that I've had that might help people get themselves into an investing career path. But what ends up happening most of the time is they just don't ever want to get past that. They just want to talk about, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this, but they never end up getting in the mindset of actually investing. And so unfortunately, a lot of people, including people I know in my own family, are going to end up sticking in that situation forever. They're willing to talk to themselves about they need to do this, they need to do this, but then at the end of the day, unfortunately, they don't end up having the wherewithal to really do anything about it. They just keep talking about it. So